Section 4 is titled Excelling in Professional Teams. An overwhelming majority of white-collar professionals, 85%, need to partner with others to complete their work. One of the terms in your books is matrix team. In matrix teams, employees' jobs, tasks are spread out across multiple teams, and they don't always work with the same people or report to the same manager. 84% of U.S. employees are members of so-called matrix teams. Teams are formed for the following reasons: better decisions, faster responses, increased productivity, greater buy-in, less resistant to change, improved employee morale, and reduced risks. Figure 11.4 demonstrates the 5 phases of project team development. First, forming the team. Select the members, get acquainted with the members, build trust, and form a collaborative culture. Then the brainstorming begins, identifying problems, collecting and sharing information, establish decision criteria, and prioritize goals. Next is norming. Discuss alternatives, evaluate outcomes, apply criteria, and prioritize alternatives. Then there is performing. Select alternative, analyze effects, implement the plan, and manage project. Then adjourning. Evaluate team effort, tie up loose ends, recognize and reward team efforts, and expect sadness, relief, sense of closure. And I have actually worked with teams on different projects, and I will say that, each project I did have a different group, so I'm familiar with this process. And I will say, you do at the end, there is some sadness and there is some relief. But this is kind of how the project team development works. This slide discusses working remotely, and the hybrid model, it refers to balancing remote work with an on-site preference. Working from home economy was a term coined by a Standard Scholar to refer to the current trend in today's workforce in which large number of employees work from home, full-time or part-time. The distributed age is a term coined by a Spotify executive to define the unique characteristics of today's workplace. The COVID pandemic propelled 42% of U.S. labor force into the home office. By 2025, it's forecasted that 22% of American workforce will be full-time teleworkers, 87% more than before the pandemic, and up to 70% of the workforce will work remotely at least 5 days a week. Given these trends, you can expect to collaborate with your coworkers located anywhere, whether in the same town or in another city, and even in other countries. Virtual teams are groups of people who, aided by IT, accomplish shared tasks, largely with face-to-face contact across geographic boundaries, sometimes on different continents and across time zones. Research suggests that the advantages of remote work and virtual collaboration outweigh its disadvantages. Happier employees, fewer absences, less attrition, a large potential talent pool, cost savings, and more collaboration options are just a few of the benefits cited with working remotely and virtually. The most effective groups have members who are willing to establish rules and abide by them. Effective team members are able to analyze tasks and to find problems so that they can work towards solutions. We're going to look at figure 11.5. These are some of the positive group behaviors, and we're going to look at a few more. So here are some positive group behaviors, and here are some negative group behaviors. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but I do want you to read over them because it's important that you recognize this behavior and try to exhibit the positive group behavior. I know it's not always easy to do, but be aware of what's positive and what's negative in a group setting. And you can read over these for yourself. I'm not going to go through each one of these. Okay, and then it is important to know that negative behavior emerges when some constantly put down the ideas and suggestions of others. So be sure that you listen to your group members and be open to their ideas and their views when you're working as a team. Effective teams share some or all of the following characteristics. And I will let you read through those. I'm not going to read all of those, but you can read these for yourself. And I'm going to end with a figure that identifies 6 steps for dealing with conflict. The first one is listen to, ensure you understand the problem. A lot of conflict can be resolved just by understanding what's going on. A lot of times conflict is just a complete misunderstanding. So make sure you understand the problem. Also understand the other's position. Show a concern for the relationship. Look for areas of mutual agreement. Maybe we can't agree on everything, but let's find common ground. Invent new problem-solving options. And then reach a fair agreement. Choose the best option. So those are some ways to deal with conflict, especially when you're working on a project.